Now, the left already has a conspiracy theory, and that is that Chaffetz wanted out because of his role in the GOP-led congressional oversight committees and President Donald Trump. This, of course, without any proof. And as for his next move, no word. But he hasn't ruled out running for another office, such as Utah governor. Joining me now from Washington, D.C., video journalist for PJ Media, Nicholas Ballasy. Nicholas, what do you make of his resignation?
It is odd that a member of Congress who says they're going to be retiring and not seeking re-election, retiring from the Congress, would leave this early. So there's some rumors going around, though, that Chaffetz is going to be on Fox News in some sort of capacity. So it's going to be interesting to see where he'll be based, since the reason he's citing is for spending more time with his family, not getting enough of that. So it'll be interesting to see where that Fox News position, if he does get that job, where it's going to be based.
Yeah, I could imagine that it would be rather draining to be a member of Congress, especially in these times. So I don't blame him, but I would agree that it's a little odd that he didn't finish out his term. And also, I guess it's not that unusual that he's not seeking re-election. He originally stated that he didn't want to be a career politician, so good for him. And I know that he just had surgery on his foot, he said, so he'll need some time to recover from that, I'm sure. Now, over in the Senate, Bob Menendez he's going after political spending. What's his idea?
He wants more disclosure from corporations. He wants corporations to disclose where they're sending their political contributions. And he says that it would help investors in their decision making and allow for better corporate governance. So it's an interesting take on the disclosure issue, which many Democrats for a long time have been pushing after the Citizens United decision.
And where do Republicans stand on this issue?
The Republicans are not, up to this point, very supportive of the disclosure of corporations. The Democrats have really made this a central issue. They're going to push it forward, but the Republicans look like they're not going to be too receptive to that proposal, at least in this Congress.
Interesting. Now, Susan Rice, she's calling for more love, less Twitter war.
Yes. Susan Rice is saying that the Trump administration's America First foreign policy is leaving the rest of the world last. And she wants to see President Trump be more receptive to things like foreign aid, and because she says it's not that much of the federal budget, and foreign aid does a lot of good in the world. So she wants to see more of that. And in her recent speech, she also said that the Trump administration should make sure that Twitter wars don't become shooting wars, which was clearly a reference to President Trump's tweeting activity.
Yeah, Twitter is getting pretty ugly these days, I know, because I have a lot of leftist trolls writing me really mean things on Twitter, and I don't appreciate it. Now, the second man who walked on the moon is saying that the International Space Station is too expensive. So is he suggesting we should just shut it down?
Buzz Aldrin is saying that the U.S. government should not be sending $3.5 billion a year to spend on the International Space Station. He has an idea for cyclers that would go between Earth and Mars. So you can check out my article on pjmedia.com about that issue. He goes really in depth about the importance of these cyclers and what they can do for space exploration. And it's important to note here that the U.S. right now spends $70 million per seat. They pay the Russians to get to the International Space Station. And like Buzz is saying, it's costing $3.5 billion for the U.S. taxpayer every year. And he thinks that money could be better spent elsewhere, like on these cyclers.